afternoon and welcome back to the O'Brien Icehouse in Melbourne for our bronze medal game here at the AWIHL Finals weekend. It may not be the gold medal decider, but do not mistake this for a dead rubber. There is pride on the line. There is history between these two, and the season and a season's worth of work is all riding on the next 60 minutes. Melbourne come into this one of a heartbreaking loss to Brisbane, a game that could have gone either way right down to the final moment. For the Ice, it's about tightening up defensively and turning that frustration into fuel. Sydney, well, they faced the top-seeded Perth Inferno in their semi-final and found the benchmark just a little too strong on the day. But for the Sydney Sirens, they've shown all year that they can compete hard, and they will see this chance to finish their season off with hopefully a bronze for them. Alongside me today is none other than Andrew McDougall. Doogie, welcome.
Thanks, Todd. It's good to be here, mate. It's an exciting day for the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. It's the final day of the season. It's the finals. There's medals on the line, and it's 4 teams that'll be competing today that have had fantastic years. And teams like the Sydney Sirens, who are the first time they've been back for 3 seasons into the finals, so they're keen to walk away with a medal as well. And obviously the Melbourne Ice, who are the defending champions, didn't get into the gold medal game, but they'll be looking to finish strong on home ice in front of their home fans.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a few key players to this game that are ready to rock and roll, and if Sydney are to win today, I reckon it's going to start defensively for them, and it's none other than number 91, Kelsey Lang, did a fantastic job in defence yesterday, and Melbourne have got a real formidable attack. I reckon a lot of pressure is on 9-1 today. Doogie, you did a bit of article on it earlier in the year.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did. I looked at a few players from different teams, and Kelsey Lang was one of the ones that stood out, and I actually thought that if Kelsey Lang could push up to near that 10-goal mark as a defender this season, it would go a long way for the Sydney Sirens, and didn't quite get there, but still did enough to, on the back end, to really, I suppose, help force these Sydney Sirens into the finals, which is where they sit now, and now they're playing off for a bronze medal. So Kelsey Lang's had a massive season for the Sirens and been really impactful from the blue line.
We take the 91, we switch it around, and we make it 19. Catherine McConey, you feel that is another one of our featured players. You feel that with Sydney, they've got a great top line. We know Edney, Thompson, and those sorts of things are fantastic. But I really feel that it's this next level of players. They stand up today, get some points on the board. Catherine McConey, 5 goals this season, 7 assists for 12 points in the 20 games. Had 1 goal yesterday in the semi-final. And that was that kind of effort that we're going to require from a player like Catherine today, Doogie.
Absolutely, and Catherine McConey is 41 years old, well and truly a veteran of this league, been around for a long, long time. It's quite funny, Todd, I was going through some photos the other day back in the early 2010s, and Catherine McConey popped up in the photos. That's how long Catherine's been around the league for, and as you said, popped up with a goal yesterday. But I think it's that leadership as well from Catherine for the Sirens, off that top line of, I suppose, Edney and Thompson, to really help drive the Sirens.
And of course for Melbourne, well, they want to get it done. They were back-to-back champions. Unfortunately, they can't defend their title here today. The best they can do is a bit of rose gold. If you squint your eyes, it almost looks gold. Carmen Anderson, I thought, was absolutely fantastic yesterday. One of the best players out there on the ice. Worked super, super hard. Yesterday, she had the 1 goal, 1 assist in the semi-final. 11 goals for the season, 19 assists for 30 points in 20 games. I thought she's been absolutely a superstar for the Melbourne Ice this season, and I reckon it's a real key to their victory today.
Absolutely. An absolute workhorse, Carmen Anderson. Gets into the right spots and really helps drive the play for the Melbourne Ice. It's been a terrific signing, and when you look at the impact of the imports over the years for the Melbourne Ice, of your Danielle Butler coming into the system and players like that, Carmen Anderson is just another one to tick off the list of coming in and performing at a high level for the Melbourne Ice.
Imports are super important, but sometimes it's your hometown talent that really makes a difference. Emily Davis-Tope has been super this year, a line mate of Carmen Anderson's. 18 goals for the season, 10 assists for 28 points in the 20 games this season. When those two are on and they're working in tandem, they're real hard to stop. And they come onto that secondary line, so it makes it tough for whoever's playing Melbourne, because they've got to now battle another tough line. So it's going to be up to Emily Davis-Tope and Carmen Anderson today, I really feel, to get it going on their line and hopefully score a few points and potentially get Melbourne a bronze medal. Well, both teams are now lined up at the blue line, and we're about to head down to Marg Tope for our in-stadium formalities.
The traditional owners of the Bunurong and Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation here at Docklands, Australia. The AWIHL also acknowledge the land on which all our teams play hockey on, and we pay respects to elders past and present. We also acknowledge any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders joining us today. And now we move to our ceremonial puck drop, and I ask that both captains please come forward, and we welcome to the ice for our ceremonial puck drop Ainsley Gardner, who is our AWIHL referee-in-chief. And Steph, captain, if you could just grab a puck, please. And then, yes, that would be really great. So let's give it up. Welcome, Ainsley, your AWIHL referee-in-chief. And now, hockey fans, if you can, please stand, remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem to be sung by Kelly Del Pozo. Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We golden soil and welcome soil, our home is good by sea. Our land and dancing nations gives of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing. Advance Australia fair. Let's play.
Fantastic rendition of the Australian anthem there by Kelly Del Pozo. You know it's finals time when they're singing the anthem live. The hands on your back start to stand up, and it really starts to rock and roll. Let's take a look at a couple of the big headlines for the game, Doogie. I think the bronze pressure and pride is a big one. Melbourne, obviously, we know how good they are. They've won a lot of championships. So have Sydney. You know, it's a long time since we've seen a winner come out of these two states. So they'll be really fighting hard for this, especially Sydney, who returned to finals since the 2022-23 season where they won the championship. And I just feel for Sydney, if they're going to really have an effort on this, they just need that extra pass. A lot of their shots coming from deep from the blue line. Just that one more pass, get closer to the net, and I really feel that they can try and get a victory that way. But for Melbourne, it's 60 minutes or bust. Their hockey all season has been great, but they've just struggled to put together a full 60-minute game. We saw that against Brisbane. They will let them in that second period early in the game as well. So Melbourne, they'll be really itching at the bit to try and get that full 60 minutes. Doogie, it's playoff hockey. It's a bronze medal game. I'm excited.
I think when you get to these sort of games, Todd, is throughout the season you can have those big stars like your Edneys and your Thompsons and your Davis Topes and your Andersons that'll rack up the points and the goals, but when it comes to finals hockey and a bronze medal is on the line, I think it's that depth in scoring and a full team effort that you need across the 60 minutes to get the job done. It's not going to be, you know, these star players, they might pop up and have a big moment in the game, but it's the depth throughout the team that's going to get you the medal.
Yeah, certainly agree with you. Let's take a look at our head officials for the game. Great honour for them as well. Our referees today, Connor Oxlade, Casper, Russell Huber, and our lines people, Daniel Mackin and Jeff Klink, will be the people in the zebra colours.
As we get set for the opening face-off here at O'Brien Icehouse Arena, and we are underway here in the bronze medal game as the Melbourne Ice in their blue jerseys will shoot from right to left on your screen, and the Sirens in their white will shoot from left to right as they go in now in behind the net there, behind Piers. Over in that far corner, feed it back up to the blue line. They get a shot on goal, just a wrist shot that's blocked. The Melbourne Ice able to get some bodies in front now. They'll try and go forward down that right wing. It gets broken up. They'll have to retreat and just play it in behind their own net.
I find it interesting here, Doogie. Melbourne have gone with their probably second lineup to start the game. So maybe try and catch Sydney off guard when they bring on their first against their seconds.
Edney just pushes that forward with them. Melbourne Ice able to deal with it. They'll play it off the boards, but that'll be icing. So at the moment in his first period, it's been all Sydney in the Melbourne Ice zone.
Bit of a broken line there. A few tried to get off. May and Nelson will have to return. Julian, Davis-Tope and Raimundo Dutton didn't start the game. So 2 skaters for the Melbourne Ice that will be trotted back out there. However, the rest of their lineup is fresh. Well, they've got 1 extra on, actually. Julian just heading to the bench. Better hurry up.
Bit of a smile on the face.
Yeah, just caught out.
Davis-Tope and Brunt, they'll go to battle at the face-off here. To the right of Pearce. Bit of a scramble, and the Sirens are able to feed it back to the blue line. They'll just dump it in again, and Thompson will go in behind the net to try and pick up the puck. Couldn't collect it. Dutton is there, just falling over. Newmark gets the puck now, gets a shot on goal, and that goes wide into the glass, and it bounces all the way back out. And Arps will have to go back for the Sirens to collect, and does now. Goes in behind Lakari, who's starting in net for the Sydney Sirens today. A fantastic season for the Sirens with under Lakari. They'll go down this left wing now, the Sirens. They'll just backhand that one in, and they'll go to work on the forecheck again. Davis-Tope now will collect the pass. Gets held up along the boards. It's a bit of a battle now. Brunt able to take it away. Feeds it back in front, but there's no one there as Julian now will skate clear for the Melbourne Ice. And now there's an odd player rush developing here. Anderson now getting a shot on goal, and Lakari, first time tested, makes a save.
Beautiful to see Lakari in net, and a great save early. It'll feel really good for her too to get her first save out the way. Lakari's so tough to get past. She does not give you any second chance opportunities. So Melbourne, even though they put that puck on net early, they'll be wanting to get some rebounds. We saw Newmark go the other way. A wicked shot to go over the top of Pearce. And we see this one here. There's that shot early. Lakari gives you nothing on the second chance.
We did talk about that pre-game before we went on air, Todd. Just the bigger body of Lakari in there for the Sirens today will make it difficult for the Melbourne Ice to get some clean net as they go forward now. The Sirens, Schmitz now through centre ice, takes the blue line, just goes out to that left circle, looking to go in behind and feed it back in front, but there's no one there. Caruso was trying to get to the net. The Melbourne Ice are able to deal with it and just lift it up and out into the neutral zone. They'll just shovel that one forward, only as far as Mayer. Just backhand that one down, and they'll go all the way in behind Pearce. No icing. Melbourne Ice will deal with that now in their own zone. Edney is trying to hold it up on the blue line, but the Melbourne Ice are able to shovel it forward. Godfrey just dump it in from the red line, gets cut off. Sirens go down that left wing, and that'll be icing.
So make sure, folks, you head over and scan that QR code in the bottom left of the screen. 50-50 raffle up for grabs. Current jackpot sitting at $825. That's only little. Let's get that higher by the end of the finals. Make sure you buy your tickets. 60 tickets for $100. That's what I'm eyeing out. Fortunately, probably can't win it, but make sure you get your tickets to support our national teams.
Off the face-off, Dutton gets a shot, and that goes wide, and Lakari is able to push that into the corner. The battle of the blue line now. Melbourne Ice, they're trying to dump it back in. Lang now will just go D to D. Rowe goes back to Lang. Lang's just happy to circle back and look to try and set something up in the Siren zone. He just pushes at it against the boards where the bench is. Finds a sort of way back to Dutton, who just feeds it to centre ice now. And now the Melbourne Ice going forward. Couldn't get a shot away as the puck bounces towards Lakari, who reaches out and covers up.
Let's take a look at this on the replay here as Melbourne get out again. Another opportunity. They're kind of going downhill on Sydney at the moment. Potential trip there from Lang. The referee's arm stayed down. Nothing in that one. And Lakari with a great save, giving nothing away.
Face off to the right of Lakari. The Sirens are able to win it. Noon in behind the net. They try and shovel it. Arps able to feed it back in towards the slot, and does go out to the neutral zone as the Ice now through Raimundo at centre ice, gets to the red line and dumps it in just besides Lakari. Julian's going in on the forecheck. Anderson now will go in strong as well. The Sirens can't get it out of the zone. The Melbourne Ice are working hard to keep it in. They are able to get it out now. And down this right-hand side is Brunt, who tries to cut back in. Newmark now on the backhand, lifts it. And Pearce makes a save.
Great save by Pearce. Pearce getting the backup job today. 2 games in a row. Save percentage for the year, an 88-7, 15 games played for the 7 wins and 5 losses. Let's take a look at this action here. It was a tough shot. Melbourne, great defence. They're set up really well. They're really protecting that middle area and getting shots from difficult areas for Sydney.
Ebony Brunt has jumped out of the gates. Real strong for the Sirens in this first period. Butler now just wraps that around the boards. Gets a puck back now down his left-hand side. Butler with speed now takes a blue line, looking to cut back in on that left circle. Gets a shot on goal, and Lakari gets down and makes a good pad save. Fantastic save from Lakari. Now Godfrey now looking for a shooting lane. Tries to get a shot away, but the Sirens get enough bodies in front, and Thompson now attacks with the loose puck. He goes down that right-hand side. Feeds it towards Newmark, who is sliding into the slot and scores! Stephanie Newmark sliding in the slot, able to gather the puck and get it past Piers, and the Sirens lead it 1-0.
Take a look at this one on the replay. Thompson did a really great job of getting out of defence and getting wide and making that ice look as wide as possible. And I thought Godfrey did a good job here covering Newmark in the middle. It was a great pass in the end, got to there early. Godfrey did enough, and then just the unfortunate bounce to go through.
I don't think Piers was expecting the shot to come. Todd Dares didn't drop down and expecting to maybe go in behind the net. First shot on goal for the Sydney Sirens as well. And it finds the back of the cage, and they go on the attack again now. Edney straight off the face-off. Gets a shot towards Piers, who holds on as it hits the logo.
Having the privilege of covering a lot of Melbourne games this season, Doogie, this is no surprise Melbourne go down 1-0 at the start of a game. They're notorious slow starters. They'll actually be banging their heads against the boards here because they always start slow, and now they're one shot down, one goal, or two shots now for the one goal, 50% conversion for Sydney.
Edney's able to win that face-off. The Sirens are happy to just dump it in again. They're going on the forecheck. Lang tries to pressure now in the high slot. Payne couldn't get a shot away. It's collected by Davis Tote. Just bounces off the boards, and Anderson now will tackle with speed. Will take the zone over on that right-hand side. Happy to cut back and feed it back up to Raimundo at the blue line, or go back to Anderson. Anderson now looking for a shooting lane, gets a wrist shot on goal, and Lakari gloves it. And Lakari's looked quite strong in this first period.
Yeah, Lakari's one of my favourite goaltenders in the competition for that exact reason. Traps the puck, stops it, no second net chance opportunities. Have a look at the Sydney defence here. Pretty well organised, protecting that middle there, and Lakari with the glove save, and they were ready there for the rebound. Julian was stalking, but Lakari is not giving you anything.
Off the face-off, the Ice did try and feed it in front, but it bounced out, and they were able to just wrap it around and have it in this corner now. Going behind Lakari, they feed it back in front, trying to get a stick on it. They couldn't, and now Thompson with speed again down this right wing. Looking to cut back in, goes back out on that right circle, just fans on that one, looking to get a shot away. It's pressured by Cochrane, able to get it back though. Newmark finds Brony, gets a shot on goal, and Piers makes a save, and it bounces back out, and the Ice are able to clear. Great save from Piers. Point blank, Todd able to keep that one out. And it was Ebony Brunt again, Todd.
Yeah, Brunt, fantastic. Oh, it was Ice. Melbourne are going to be on the back foot here. Really loving Sydney's attack at the moment. They're getting a lot of pucks on net. They're putting a lot of pressure on Piers in these last couple of sequences.
Off the face-off. Goes in behind the goal line. They'll battle now, both teams. Nelson now trying to feed it forward. Good, and it's cut off by the Sirens. Breaking out that play through the neutral zone. They just bounce it off the boards, and Dutton will chase after it, pressured by Thompson. Able to wrap around the boards. There's a battle. Both teams digging away at it. Cochrane finds his way to Dutton again. They'll try and go out the other side now. Nelson just backhands out one forward, and they get to the red line. It was Dash who dumped it in. We do have a whistle.
Just having a look at some of the faces after that icing call. Melbourne, they want to get off. Dash, Nelson, Dutton, Cochrane. They've all been out there for a long period of time now. They're starting to suck in the breaths. This is a big opportunity, a big moment for Sydney to score.
Big face-off here. And Godfrey's able to win it, and Dutton will just bounce it off the boards, and now Godfrey will skate clear and try and chip and chase, and does get held up by Arps. And now York get to the red line and just dump it in, and Caruso will chase after that one. Butler gets there first as they collide at the end boards now, and both teams just battling away in behind Piers, searching for that puck, and it's the Melbourne Ice who are able to skate away with it, but fanning on that, couldn't get the pass away. Finally able to make the pass into the neutral zone was Wrigley Unis. Dutton will go back and collect in behind Piers, just try and wrap that around the boards. Couldn't get it out as Lang was there for the Sirens, putting on pressure. Wrigley Unis now trying to bounce it off the end boards. McGoney's in there pressuring Dutton, and Lang goes in to help. Butler's in there as well, as both teams are just digging away at it. The puck's just sitting in the yellow there. Puck does bounce out in behind Piers, and Edney now would collect it on the far side and just wrap that around into Lang. Lang now feeds it back up to the blue line, and a big slap shot on goal, and that goes wide. Edney now getting another shot short side. Rings off the post, I think. A couple of big chances for the Sirens. They feed it out to the neutral zone, and Payne's able to just dump it back in, and Friend will pick it up for the Melbourne Ice and try and shovel that out. Mayer, it's a wrist shot on goal, and that gets blocked and deflected into the far corner, and Lang will chase after it and just backhand that one in behind the net as Ugliunas is pressured, as Edney now controls the puck. Leaves it for Lang. Lang now tries to feed it towards the slot. It goes all the way to the blue line, and Mayer now will collect the puck.
Had over 2 minutes of Sydney in their attacking zone. It's a long time down here.
Absolutely it is. Just relentless pressure from the Sirens. They still have the puck now, looking to feed it up to the blue line, but there's a stick on the play now. Anderson is away as a breakaway opportunity. Anderson 1-on-1 with Akari and scores! Carmen Anderson just rips a wrist shot past Lakari, and the Ice tied up at 1.
We talked about time in zone. Sydney had that time for so long. They managed so many shots, and then sometimes it's that one that catches you out the back. Sydney were playing really high. They were really deep on their offense. You see it there. Then the blue line couldn't quite protect it. Anderson's lightning quick. You don't need to give her a second opportunity. But how's the finish, Doogie?
Oh, just rips it. Just a quick release on the forehand, able to get it past Lakari and ties it up. Thompson now off the face-off, right circle, gets a shot off the pad of Piers. Brunt tried to get a shot towards goal, and that went well wide, and Anderson picks it up and just tries to deke around Brunt, but Newmark dumps it in, and Thompson now at the end boards, pressured by Davis Tope, and collects the puck now. Davis Tope now trying to skate away with it. It will bounce it off the boards. Doesn't get there, gets intercepted, but they're able to make it work. The Melbourne Ice, as Julian goes across ice, and Anderson now the goal scorer, just cutting back on that right circle. Tries to find Ahmad at the blue line, just bounced off the skates, goes into the corner. Davis Tope now battling away against two Sirens players. Anderson goes in to help as Brunt just pushes out to the other side. The Sirens able to finally get it out to the neutral zone. Melbourne Ice, though, you feel like they got their tails up now after that goal from Anderson. There's Julian now trying to go down that left-hand side, but there's plenty of Sirens there. Couldn't make it work as Thompson shoves it forward down the left wing now. Thompson feeds it across, trying to find Newmark. Just couldn't quite stick the pass as Newmark dumps it in now behind Piers. Nelson just shovels that one to Raimundo. Raimundo now in behind the net, trying to play it out. Tailed in by the Sirens. Caruso now trying to shoot on Piers and covers the angles and makes the save.
Even though Melbourne have tied it up at 1 apiece, Sydney are still dominating time in the O-zone. They're looking really comfortable there. And again, that shot count at the moment, it is 5 apiece, but it feels more than that because they've had so much time in their attacking zone, Doogie. Yeah,
absolutely. The Sirens are all over them at the moment. They're working hard on that forecheck once they get it in the Melbourne Ice zone. Really making it hard for the Ice to get that clean exit pass. It's Cochran now. Finds Dutton. Try and go down that right-hand side. It misses everyone. There is no icing. Zart will chase that one down, pressured by Butler. Jusimovic now trying to collect that puck. Magoni's there with Edney. Edney now will collect for the Sirens. Try and push it forward towards Lang. Lang now finds the puck. Got time to shoot on Piers. That goes wide. Opportunity emerging there for Lang, able to find the loose puck. Really battle hard as the Sirens now, they just try and shovel that one in behind the net again. Keeping the pressure up. Lang cuts off that pass and tries to feed it back in front where Edney was lurking, but it finds its way all the way down to Lakari. Now restart again, and Aaron Paso from Lakari as Butler with speed, able to track the loose puck now, goes in and feeds it back in front. They get a shot on goal as Godfrey able to keep it out, the Sirens. And now Lang able to find Edney now. Edney will take the blue line, that right circle, looking to cut back in. Sarah Edney couldn't get a shot away. It was Ugliunas getting back with the stick. Doing a great job to break up that play. Now Anderson will break free again, falling over, getting time to shoot. Anderson, Lakari gets up and covers the angle. That was Thompson. Fell over, gave Anderson some time and room to shoot. That was a beautiful defensive play on that last Edney chance from the Melbourne Ice.
Yeah, Eddie was absolute super on that play. We're able to drag that puck back from absolute miles away. A great defensive effort as well. Then Melbourne goes straight back the other way and then try and score. Melbourne finding themselves in an unusual position for them. Normally they dominate play in time in their attacking zone. Today they're going to have to fight off the back foot.
There's a battle now at the end boards. Off the face-off as Davis Tope is trying to control it, and May is there. Anderson now able to collect it for the ice. Feed it back up to the blue line. St. Martin now goes over to Raimundo. Couldn't quite stick the pass, and Raimundo will just wrap that around to Davis Tope in behind the net. He's cutting and feeding it back up to Raimundo. Raimundo now back to Davis Tope. It just feeds that one forward. There's no one there for the Sirens, as the Sirens are happy to just bounce that off the glass all the way down to Piers. And Amar will get back there. Anderson couldn't get on the end of that one, as the Sirens once again working hard on the forecheck just to try and trap it in. That was Brunt. He's had a great first period for the Sirens, been absolutely everywhere. Anderson now feeds it back. St. Martin gets to the red line. Back to Anderson. Will enter the zone now. Lack of numbers there for the Ice. They want to make a change as Anderson dumps it in and heads to the bench. Thompson now. Brunt collecting the puck at centre ice. He gets a slap shot towards goal, and St. Mark gets in the way of that one. It does trickle to Piers, who covers up.
St. Mark looking a bit gingy here as she heads to the bench. Might have copped a hit, a bit of a stinger, maybe on that right leg, it looks like. We'll keep an eye on that situation as St. Mark heads to, looks to get some treatment. She looks to be in a world of pain.
That was a big slap shot coming in there from Brunt. Absolutely ripped that one. But that's what happens in the bronze medal. We get the body on the line. There is no tomorrow with these games. It's off the face-off the ice, able to just bounce it off the glass, and now the puck. Godfrey able to collect it in the neutral zone, trying to deke her way through, couldn't. The Sirens now trying to go down that right-hand side, but that's cut off. And now Butler trying to track this puck down. It's in the Siren zone. Butler at the goal line, just holding onto the puck, spinning and turning, and then plays it down low, trying to get the puck back as bouncing puck, and couldn't really control it as the Sirens able to deal with it. All the way out to Dutton. He's happy to just dump it back in. The Ice will have to quickly come out with a delayed offside and head back in as Godfrey and Butler look to go in on the forecheck. Caruso now. York gets to the red line and just dumps it in as the Sirens will make a change, and LeCren will collect the puck in behind Piers, but pressured by Schmitz. Able to deal with it. Butler trying to push it out down the right-hand side for the Melbourne Ice, and Edney now collecting that far corner. Edney cuts back in behind the goal line, feeds it back up to the blue line where Payne is. Payne gets a shot towards goal, and it bounces off the skates and all the way back out to the neutral zone. Godfrey will collect for the Melbourne Ice now. They look to set up, trying to go through centre ice as Edney was cut off. Godfrey was cut off by Edney. Lang now in behind Piers, feeds it back in front. Great defensive play there. Able to break up that play. Davis Tope now finds a puck in the neutral zone and gives it back to Anderson. Anderson now with speed down the left wing. Gets a shot towards Lakari's a rebound opportunity, and Lakari stops that one again. Davis Tope has the puck, but it finds its way out to Raimundo. Just cuts back and looks to find Julian. So a couple of big saves from Lakari there. Lang just holding onto the puck and didn't like what she saw up ahead, so happy to go back to Mayer and feed it out that left-hand side and try and feed it back into Brunt. And St. Mark cuts that one off and feeds it to Raimundo. Puck bounces off the boards and then gets pushed back in as Raimundo will chase after it again, and it goes D to D as St. Mark trying to collect it. This pressured heavy on the forecheck by Newmark. Puck goes back out the other side as Julian will try and chase it down. Thompson gets there first, and the Sirens will have to sit up again. Payne now gets to the red line down that right-hand side and dumps it in again. And Brunt will try and go in hard on the forecheck, and Raimundo couldn't push it out as the Sirens do a good job of the blue line. Now Brunt gets the puck back and shoots on goal, and Piers makes a save. There's a rebound opportunity. A digging weight, bodies everywhere. Thompson gets thrown aside. Piers comes up big.
Big moments in this game. Sydney doing a great job getting more of that time. We see that Brunt shot there from distance. Pearce with a save, but there was 3 white jerseys on the rebound. Not a blue jersey in sight. They've got to make sure they give Pearce plenty of protection and clear that house.
Off the face-off, Thompson gets a shot away and Pearce able to deal with that one. Thompson now. Mark, back to Thompson. Trying to collect the bouncing puck, and Cochrane now just chips it against the inboards and tries to collect it again. But Brunt tries to feed it back in front. Couldn't. Still putting the pressure on his Brunt. Been absolutely everywhere in his first period. Shovels that one across to Mark. Chase after that one and pressured by Cochrane. Cochrane wins that battle.
You talk about Brunt, Doogie, you're exactly right. She's been absolutely everywhere. Been a superstar for this Sydney team, but I think that's what it's going to take. You're going to need a good 10 players to stand up. It's really going to test their depth if they want to get their hands on the Bronze today. Well,
it just sets the tone, doesn't it, Todd? From the opening face-off, okay, we're here to play. Ebony Brunt, come with me. This is how we're going to win the game. Face-off to the right of Pearce. Sirens trying to win it as Butler tries to skate out with it, but can't. Now Edney with time to shoot, and does, but Pearce able to hold on.
One thing I must say, give Pearce her credit. That first shot of the game, she let one in, and then since then she's been quite good. She's responded really well. Sometimes as a goaltender it can be tough. You give away a goal early in the game, but her response has been fantastic since then.
Off the face-off, the Ice win it. They'll skate it out now as Julian goes over to Anderson, who'll take the blue line. Anderson at right circle, feeds it back in front, looking for a redirect from Julian, and flashed across the blue paint as Lang collects now for the Sirens. Trying to push it out down that left-hand side, does. The Ice will have to come back out and reset. It's Anderson finds Davis Tope. Now Julian will enter the zone, looking to feed it back to Davis Tope. But Edney does well defensively, pushes that one back out as Lecren now trying to find Davis Tope as centre ice, couldn't. Julian trying to jump on that loose puck with the Sirens, able to get a stick in there again, was Arps. Anderson now enters down that left-hand side, will go all the way below the goal line, looking to feed it back in front and get a shot on goal. Davis Tope saves it, Lucari. The Ice now continuing to put on the pressure. Anderson, left circle, dumps it down low to looking to spin and shoot as Davis Tope, and does. Still can't find a way past Lucari as McGoney fans on that one. Raimundo keeps it in the blue line, trying to dump it in. Anderson now looking to find a puck and does, and shoots, so that goes wide. A strong few moments here for the Melbourne Ice as Raimundo keeps it in again and does well to hold up Edney. Raimundo working hard on the blue line. Big shift from Raimundo. Able to dump it in as Arps are going behind Lucari. Trying to feed it to Lang. Anderson's pressuring on the forecheck, loses the stick as Lang chase after it. Control it, and now exit the Siren zone. Butler is pressuring and dumping it in the Sirens, but that'll be icing. A big few moments for the Melbourne Ice, and Raimundo absolutely huge on that blue line.
Yeah, you're certainly right, Doogie. They've had some great time in their attacking zone here. They forced the icing, and now all of a sudden they've got a face-off in their attacking territory. I thought Lucari was big in a couple of those sequences there, keeping that puck out of the net. Sydney defence under pressure here. They've got to weather this storm, and hopefully for the last 3 minutes they can maybe get one going back the other way.
Face-off to the left of Lucari. Bit of a scramble and a battle with the Sirens are able to win and try and exit. They can't. The Ice able to just hold them up and try and keep it in. Gloved down by Butler near the blue line, and they just dump it in again. Now here's Cochrane, one-timer. Coming in off the blue line, high slight, and Lucari gloves it.
Beautiful glove save there from Lucari. Real easy one to track because it was coming directly at her. I'd love to watch this on the replay. This is the exact angle that I wanted to see from behind the net. We see Cochrane saw that opportunity. Lucari was able to track it directly in front. Great save, great hockey.
Off the face-off, the Ice are able to win as Cochrane just pushes that one in behind the goal line, and Rowe will get there and backhand that one, and now Dash will collect it, feeds it back in front. It's a loose puck. Sirens are able to deal with it. Now Schmitz will go forward and get to the red line and just chip and chase. Get back on the end of the puck to Schmitz and backhand it to York. York looking for some space to free their hands and get a pass away, couldn't. The Ice do well. Pressure. Dash over there along the boards. Nelson's there as well. Sirens able to push that one out and push it towards Caruso, and the puck bounces all the way to Pearce. Not enough on it and able to deal with that comfortably.
Last 2 minutes 12 left of the first period. The shot count currently sitting at 10 apiece. Melbourne haven't amounted a numerous amount of pucks on net in those last couple of sequences here. We said that easy save for Pearce, but just this would be a good reprieve for Sydney. They now have it in their own zone. Let's see if they can capitalise from this opportunity.
Off the face-off, Brunt tried to shovel that back, but it didn't quite work out, and the Ice now will try and take over and clear, but they're still putting on that strong forecheck. The Sirens, as the Ice try and shovel it, but it's kept in by a Noon at the blue line and pushes it back down. And Wrigley Eunice now does well to use the body to protect the puck and find Julian, and Julian now will chip it forward to Anderson down that right-hand side. Anderson will enter the zone, finds Davis Tote, couldn't get a shot away, and a great stick there from the Sirens to break it up. It was Newmark on the back check. Bren now spinning and pressured by Newmark as Anderson gets back and does well defensively. It's what you want from a forward in a bronze game, is getting back and doing defensive work as well. Anderson now in behind Lakari, trying to collect that loose puck and couldn't. And the puck finds its way over to Thompson down that left-hand side as Ramundo couldn't bat it down to Thompson. Now left circle, all alone, tries to feed it in front and trickles out the other side. Pearce must have thought still had it. Thompson still got the puck now, dangling, getting a shot away, and Pearce makes the save. But that initial first shot, Todd, it looked like Pearce thought she had it because she didn't look over to the left where the puck actually went.
Yeah, let's take a look at that on the replay as we see this sequence here. Thompson picking it up here. How good was the dangles on this opportunity? Whoop! Get around one, then the shot. Good save by Pearce.
Off the face-off, bit of a scramble. Still battling away, feeding it back in front, but there's no one there for the Sirens. And now the Melbourne Ice, Hussein Amat, just backhands out to Godfrey. Godfrey now with speed, looking to cut back in front of Lakari. Couldn't find a way past. Going in now, just lifts that up. A stick down. There is a whistle.
Godfrey.
I think it's a high stick call on the Melbourne Ice.
Godfrey not happy with the treatment out there. She was wanting a little more.
37.9 seconds remaining in the period. Off the face-off, Lang and Godfrey collide as Godfrey goes down. It's Edney now, skating out with it. Just backhands that one forward, looking for Lang to get on the end of it, but Ramundo does well defensively just to control it, and Dash will just push that forward. It bounces off the stick up and down, and Edney and Butler will go at it as McConey now trying to collect the loose puck, and Ramundo trying to keep it into the blue line, but Edney comes through and collects the puck with a great stick there from Godfrey. Now, Lang gets a shot towards Pearce, who sees that easily and gloves it. There's not a lot of room out there in this first period, Todd.
You're right, there is not a lot of room indeed. We see this opportunity here. Sydney trying to create some. Melbourne set up defensively really well, forcing a shot from deep. Pearce makes the easy save. However, 8.4 seconds on the clock. Attacking zone for Sydney here. Can they get this one late?
Off the face-off, there's an opportunity for Lang as the goals come off their mooring.
Almost lucky there for Pearce. She was caught on her back. Reminiscent of a turtle trying to get up on the back of her shell there. Lucky the goals went off the mooring because they could have been in trouble.
So 2.8 seconds remaining in the period. Face off to the left of Pearce. So 291s going at it. Lang and Julian. They'll have to reset the clock, I think, to 2.8. After a false start on the face-off.
And in a bronze medal game, these seconds matter.
Absolutely.
You want to get this 100% right because anything can happen in a blink of an eye. 2.8 put on the clock. That's what we're going to get.
2.8 in hockey terms is plenty of time. So absolutely, it does matter. Off the face-off now, there's Melbourne Ice able to push that out to the neutral zone, and that'll do it for one period of play here. The Melbourne Ice and the Sydney Sirens are locked in at 1 apiece. 12 shots on goal. The Sydney Sirens to 11 for the Melbourne Ice. Very, very even first period. Not a lot of room out there, Todd, to get some real sort of decent chances on goal. It's a There's a lot of bodies in front, a lot of sticks getting in the way. A real tight first period.
Well, it's a classic final, isn't it? Goals are going to be a premium. We've only seen 2 of them, but the defense for both teams have been fantastic. Made the looks really hard for both teams. It's been hard to get quality shots on net. Both goaltenders have done a great job. They've had slight bits of adversity. Piers obviously copping a goal on her first shot. Lakari's goal on Anderson in that 1-on-1. I thought she was a bit unlucky there. And the rest of the game, she's played really well. But yeah, this is locked in. This is going to be a fantastic bronze medal game.
And the 2 players, one for the Sydney Sirens, Ebony Brunt, was all over that first period. And the person that we highlighted in the pre-game, Anderson, was absolutely superb. Both sides of the puck, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, she's on. Playoff Anderson is my favourite. She's attacking this game with intensity like no other. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Make sure you join us after this. It'll be 15 minutes. We get the ice nice and clean and come back because this bronze medal game is just heating up. Welcome back to the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. It's the bronze medal clash between the Melbourne Ice and the Sydney Sirens, and what a fantastic game it's been. One apiece. Both teams have had huge opportunities in that first period. Let's take a look at some of the numbers that matter here, Doogie, and talk us through it, because the stats are telling an interesting story.
Well, it's one goal apiece, and look at those shot counts. It's 12-11, so both teams have had even amount of chances and some really good high quality chances. And if you look at that save percentage on either side, so Piers for the Melbourne Ice, after giving up that the first goal and the first shot for the Sirens, 0.917, which is huge, and Ella Likari coming in net for the Sirens, 0.910, has made some massive saves as well. That's probably been one of the big stories of the first period, is the two goaltenders actually sort of standing on their head throughout different parts of that first period and keeping things at a one-goal game.
Number of repeat saves as well, second chance efforts, those sorts of things, stopping the puck. Now, Doogie, as I look around and I see both teams are firmly in the change rooms, you don't normally see that on the first period break. There's normally someone wandering around, and there's normally a few things. So I reckon both these coaches are locked in. They've got the tactics going hard at the moment.
Well, there's a medal on the line, isn't there? You know, it's as we said earlier, there's no tomorrow. You know, you finish up today and the season's done until next year, and you don't want to go. There's 4 teams here across the weekend. You don't want to be the team that walks away with nothing. So, and that's one of these two teams is going to walk away with nothing, and one's going to have a medal to show for it at the end of it.
And especially these two clubs, right? They've been at the apex of this competition for a very long time. A lot of the championships have been split between these two very clubs. Yeah,
absolutely. Two very proud clubs with a deep history here in the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. Not only just in their championship that they win, Todd, but the players that they produce for the national team as well, for all different levels, from under 18 to the senior women's and everything in between. So two clubs with a real proud history.
As a bit of a cheer just came across the crowd, Sydney returned from the change rooms. Melbourne still yet to show. The time has expired. So, hey, this is on. They're playing chess here. They're making some moves in these change rooms, and the referees are just getting over and just opening the door and saying, all right, hurry up, let's go, let's get this show on the road, as Piers now comes out, followed by Butler and Cochrane. This is set to be a fantastic game, Doogie. How does one team get on top at the moment? I feel transition hockey for both of these teams has been okay. They've had some good time in offensive zone for both of these teams. How do you think you penetrate both goaltenders? We talked about them being the superstars, but how do you get past them?
I think it's just trying to find a way to get some clean exit passes and trying to get some clean, I suppose, transition through the neutral zone into your offensive zone. Because what we've seen a lot in that first period is teams are trying to exit out of their own zones, but there's a stick in play from either side in the neutral zone. And we've seen a few times, like even at the end of that period there, where Sarah Edney was trying to go forward for the Sirens. It was Godfrey getting a stick in the way of that one, just to break up that play late. So trying to get some clean exits and really trying to set up their systems going forward.
Well, that's a new one. I've never seen this before. Our officials are waiting out there for both these teams. Both teams got to hurry up. This is on, Doogie. This is on.
Well, I was just thinking, it gives us a bit of time to watch the officials skate around too, because they're quite good on the skates, the officials, when they come out and get their little warm-ups in. So
how about they give you a little flyby in the commentary box? I feel like Tom Cruise in Top Gun.
As we get set for the opening face-off of the second period, and we are underway, the Melbourne Ice win it. Goes all the way back to Raimundo. Was trying to collect it in the feet, and the Sirens, it was Edney gets a shot from the blue line. It was really a nothing shot. It made Piers work, and there was a rebound and covered up. And the first meaningful chance of this period goes to the Melbourne Ice. Goes to the Sirens, sorry, and Piers able to make the save. Off the face-off, Lang just tries to bat that one in behind Piers and does, and the Ice will get there first and push it around the boards. To Anderson now looks to play that across ice. Davis Pope trying to track that one down and does. Protects the puck well now. Enters the zone on the left circle. Gets the shot towards Likari, who makes the save. It's another opportunity. The goal, come off their moorings. It was a big save from Likari as Davis Pope from the left circle.
Let's take a look at this here on the replay. Melbourne just trying to manufacture something. Tough shot from out there. Likari with the save, double effort. And bobbling out and going over the top.
Face off to the left of Likari. Won by Julian, back up to Raimundo. Will go out to the neutral zone, so Raimundo will have to track this one all the way back into the Melbourne Ice zone and just backhand that one, D to D. St. Amar bounce off the balls. Julian trying to stretch for that one and couldn't, as Mar able to break that one up. And Amar now. Passing it forward. Davis Tope at the red line. Just trying to shovel that one in and does. And Julian will chase after that one. He's got Anderson in front. Is trying to feed it back towards Anderson, but there's a stick in the way of that one. We're going in now in the corner. Couldn't get it past Davis Tope, but the blue line gets a wrist shot towards Akari and makes a good right pad save. Now Lang will take over on the far side, feed it to Edney, will just push that one forward, but great defensive play there from St. Mark to break that one up. That's what we were saying before we came into this period. Todd just trying to find that clean exit through the neutral zone, but there's just another stick in the way. They can't exit. They're the Melbourne Ice, and it's the Sirens on the attack through Lang again behind the goal line, cutting back in, feeding in front. There's no one there, and it goes all the way out to the other side. Moon will retreat through the neutral zone. Newmark now dumps it off the brunt. Just lost the handle of that one. Newmark now finds Thompson, who gets a shot on goal, and Pearce makes a good right pad save. And now going back the other way is the Melbourne Ice. Butler just protecting the park, pressure by Noon, goes in behind. Lakari looking for a wraparound, gets a shot on goal and scores! Danielle Butler gives Melbourne Ice the lead. They lead it 2-1.
Well, Danielle Butler is the master of the wraparound. Talking to her mum at the end of yesterday, she encourages her always, look at that wraparound opportunity. I've called it a cheeky wraparound on the coverage before, and she loves it, the Aussie vernacular. But look at it there it is, bang! And then hits the side of the net. Lakari was a tough one to track. Danielle Butler gives the go-ahead for Melbourne. Well, look at this reverse angle. I'm loving these cameras here at the playoffs. That just shows you how good that shot was. Accuracy, that gap to get it through there is so tiny. How did Butler do that?
Can't give Butler any time and space at all. There's plenty of Sirens players just stuck in front of Lakari and no one really tracking Butler. Able to get the shot away, and we've seen over the years, very lethal. Danielle Butler, they're on the attack again now, the Melbourne Ice. Wrigley Unison, the blue line gets a wrist shot towards goal, his body's in front. Deflecting behind as Anderson now takes over for the Ice. Davis Tope dumps it back down to Anderson. Anderson now looking to feed it back in front, and does, and couldn't quite control it. Julian, the Sirens able to push it out to the neutral zone. Lecren will just dump it back in as they'll make a change. The Melbourne Ice get some fresh legs out there. Here goes Caruso. Just couldn't quite handle that one as Dash comes in and collects a loose puck, and now Dash with speed. Get to the red line and dump it in and try and go in on the forecheck as Payne tries to chase that one down, and Dash gets there and collects her own puck, feeds it back up to the blue line. Caruso does well to get a stick in there to force it out as the Melbourne Ice will have to retreat on the offside. They dump it back in, and Mayer now will collect for the Sirens. Just wrapping that around the boards, finds Caruso, just bounces past the stick as Cochran shovels that one in. The Sirens able to cut that off, and they feed it across ice towards Magoni. It's all the way down into the Melbourne Ice zone as Dutton goes D to Cochran. Push that one forward, and Edney does well to keep it into blue line and backhands that one in behind the net. Magoni will try and go in on the forecheck. Rowe will jump up at the blue line and keep it in for the Sirens and does well. Feeds it into the slot. Magoni trying to control it. And the Sirens just couldn't keep that in. Called for the offside.
Really important to see how Sydney respond here. Melbourne got that goal obviously earlier, and now it's up to Sydney to see what they can do. We see Melbourne having plenty of time down low, creating some good shot opportunities. Sydney just getting that puck out of there and looking to clear and build up some offense of their own.
A neutral zone face-off. Butler and Edney, two superstars. Melbourne Ice able to take it away. Outnumbered there was Nisimovic. Mundo at the blue line, dumping it back in again. Butler spinning and turning, getting past Rowe, looking to feed it back in front, but getting down was Edney just to block that one. Great defensive play. Rowe trying to feed it back in front, and Butler trying to spin and shoot. It was the dangerous play from Rowe. Sirens able to survive it. Magoni now trying to push that through centre ice. It's cut off by St. Mark. Couldn't stick it to Lang. Godfrey now looking to play it across ice as Nisimovic now will track this one down behind the goal line. Pressure by Rowe, trying to feed it back in front. Bounce off the side of the netting. Rowe able to backhand that one to Lang. Lang will go across ice and find Magoni down the left wing here. Feeds it forward towards Edney. Couldn't stick the pass, just too far in front as St. Mark gets back defensively. The puck finds its way towards Pearce. Sirens keep it in. Keep the pressure on. They dump it into Edney. They just wrap that around the boards, but there's no one there. It's Julian and the Melbourne Ice. Get around the other number 91, Lang. Still control it now, Julian through centre ice, and Cuts back in and goes down that left-hand side and digs her way through. Christina Julian gets a shot from the left circle. And Lakari makes a good save. Anderson now just wraps that around the boards and in behind Lakari. Julian now will shovel it back to Anderson. Anderson just controlling in the far corner. Feeds it back in front. Grigliunas with a shot on goal. Goes wide. Just opened up there for the defender. Anderson now controlling the puck. Just circling around. High slot, gets a wrist shot towards goal. Lakari makes a save. There's a rebound. Able to track the rebound and cover up Lakari.
Okay, great for Lakari on that one to be able to trap that. I thought Sydney's last couple of sequences, they've been sloppy in front of net. The Melbourne have had plenty of second chance opportunities. Lucky Lakari didn't quite get it in the glove on that time. Second effort to be able to stop it. However, Melbourne, they look looming at the moment. Sydney have really got to tighten up their defence and start getting it out of this defensive zone, or else they're going to find themselves in some hot water.
Thompson just bounces off the boards and tries to attack the zone with speed down the left wing, but gets held up. York now with a wrist shot towards goal, and it's a big block from Dutton. Thompson with a backhand shot on Pearce. Able to keep that one out. Thompson now trying to control the puck, feeds it towards the slot, but the Melbourne Ice able to push it out. Butler, Godfrey now takes over, just controls things and settles it down. Now looking for the pass, able to dangle and dig away through the neutral zone. Now takes the blue line. Godfrey now the wrist shot towards Lakari. Goes over the top in behind, collects her own puck as Godfrey tries a backhand. That one's towards the slot, does it again. The Melbourne Ice trying to keep it in, but Thompson now will collect the loose puck. Godfrey cuts that one off and attacks his own. Now Godfrey right circle with time to shoot, does shoot. Couldn't get past Lakari. Spinning and turning was Butler on that far side. Sirens able to push it out to the neutral zone now. Thompson able to attack the blue line, gets a wrist shot towards goal, and St. Mark gets a stick in as it deflects up and into the glass. Godfrey, Cochran, shovels that one to St. Mark. Sirens keep it into the blue line and try and dump it in. Melbourne Ice able to take over. St. Mark, great stick there from Edney to keep it in, and only momentarily, but Lang's on the attack again, and the Sirens are called for the offside. Plenty of desperation out there.
I don't know if we can get this. Yeah, I don't know if we can get this in studio. I think we're going to see the replay of the Godfrey one. Godfrey claimed this as a goal here, so let's take a look at the replay behind the net. Godfrey's shot there. We're going to slow it right down. Off the bar, it looks tough to see. Yeah, bar down and out. Godfrey had the hands up saying, hey, that was a goal, but geez, it's centimetres for a bronze.
Off the face-off. Lang's able to keep it in the ice zone as Raimundo goes in to try and collect the puck. Now Edney feeds it back towards the slot, and they couldn't collect it as Nelson now will go forward for the ice. Mar does well just to get the body in the way and give the Sirens some time as Lang shovels it back to Mar, collects it behind the goal line. The Sirens able to push it down that left wing all the way into the Melbourne Ice zone as Raimundo tracks back defensively. He's trying to spin and play it out. Dash now as the puck bounce off the boards. They will go forward now, the Melbourne Ice, and there's no one down there, and that'll be icing.
Bit of relief here for the Sydney Sirens. They won't have to skate it out of the defensive zone. They get to go back the other way, gives them a chance to attack. They've been on the back foot here in the second period. Of course, Melbourne getting that go-ahead goal. They lead this one 2-1. Sydney have got to respond here. I want to see at least good 5 pucks on net from them in this sequence.
Off the face-off, just a scrambling, bouncing puck, and Raimundo comes in and collects it and then tries to shovel it out, but kept in at the blue line by the Sirens. Back to Raimundo, happy to go behind the goal again as they try and work it out, and they do, only as far as noon at centre ice. Try and go back to Arps. Arps now just bounces that towards Thompson. It's just pressured with the body by St. Mark, and Raimundo now will go back and collect the puck. He'll bounce it off the end boards and try and push it out the far side, but the Sirens once again jumping up off the blue line and keeping it in and dumping it back in behind Pearce, and they'll go to work on the forecheck again. St. Mark is there for the Melbourne Ice, and now Sirens is trying to collect that loose puck. Working overtime. Now the Melbourne Ice, and now Anderson breaks free. Davis Tope now, left circle, trying to get a shot on goal and does, and Lakari makes a right pad save, and Anderson comes in and gets another shot on goal. Backhands out to Davis Tope. trying to get a shot on goal, but not enough on that one. It deflects wide. Julian now at the blue line, just holding on to the puck. There's a wrist shot down towards Anderson, who feeds it back in front, and couldn't get on the end of that was Davis Tote. Eunice just wraps that around the boards and goes out the other side. Newmark just pushes it down that right wing, and Lecren will chase after it. No icing. The Sirens make a change. Edney off the bench tried to collect that loose puck. It's danger for the Melbourne Ice. They're able to push it out to the red line, and Edney does well. Try and track it. Bounces his way all the way back to Payne. They'll find Lang. Lang will just chip that one forward to Edney. He's got McOnie in the slot. Edney now collects the puck in that far corner. Spinning and cutting back. Goes back up to the blue line. It's a wrist shot towards goal and goes wide. Mark dumps it in. The Ice have got some numbers though. Musimovic now just pushes it out to centre ice, and it's cut off by Rowe. Eunice breaks up that play for the Sirens. Tries to find Musimovic, but Rowe's there again just to break it up. Now there's a battle at the red line. It goes all the way back to Butler. Butler just spinning and cutting back, and McOnie collides with Butler. Big collision in front of the Sirens bench. Mark is happy to go back in behind Macari. It's cut back and then sticks a pass to Schmitz, and now Lang through centre ice against Cochrane. Lang now, right circle, gets past Cochrane, looking to cut back in on the backhand. They just lost the puck in the skates. Now Mark couldn't collect it. The Sirens still keep it in as Rose shovels it into the corner. York and Cochrane are there. Schmitz is there as well as Butler pushes that one out, and Rowe can't get to the blue line in time, and it goes all the way out to the neutral zone. Melbourne Ice trying to collect that loose puck, and Godfrey it is. Nelson trying to find the puck in the skates. It finds its way all the way back to Cochrane. Trying to find Butler. The puck is deflected. Butler's able to get back on the end of it and enter the zone at the right circle. Trying to get around two Sirens players, and goes down. And we do have a whistle.
Off the mooring, they'll have to reset that as well. Interesting one, Doogie. We've travelled a fair way in this game. 31 minutes for the game. You get to see a penalty.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that shot count as well. The Melbourne Ice are now starting to chip away. They're in front of that shot count now and getting shots on net towards Akari. So that's one to watch as well. That shot count slowly starting to tilt in the Melbourne Ice's favour. Now Brunt collects in behind Pearce. Looking to feed it back up towards Arps. That's cut off. Well, the Ice puck does go to Arps, who's happy to dump it in against the end boards. It's a weird bounce. It does come out in front of Pearce. The Ice are able to deal with it. But Thompson now able to get a shot away on goal. There's a loose puck, and Pearce able to track it and cover up.
To your point there about the shot count, yeah, Melbourne definitely on top. Those signs there are encouraging for Sydney. Getting some good looks on net, making it difficult, making Pearce save. Pearce has been quiet for a long period of time now and then forced to make those saves. Sydney, that's good for their momentum. Hopefully they can build and capitalise on this moment in the game.
The face-off. Eunice is pressured by Thompson. He just bounced off the end boards and couldn't get away with it. Now Idney able to find Thompson, but the puck just couldn't stick to the tape. They fall over in that corner. Miska Thompson getting up now. The puck is loose. Anderson's there. Edney's able to find the loose puck. Feeds it back in front. Back up to Arps. Arps just fans on that one. And now the Melbourne Ice are away. Christina Julienne now. One-on-one with Akari. Coming back defensively though for the Sirens. They feed it back in front. Couldn't get a shot away. That was Mayer. Great defensive work. It's in behind Licari now. Julian now gets a shot away. And Licari with the glove holds on. But what a play from Mayer.
Yeah, super play from Mayer. Unfortunate for Julian, the puck was just standing on its axis. She couldn't get it floating in the right way. It took an age. We'll see this on the replay as we see the puck just rolling away. If she just had a bit more control on that, Julian eats those for breakfast. But great save by Licari. Good use of the glove. This is game on.
Off the face-off, Musimovic tries to feed it back in front. Butler now collects in behind Licari. Pressured by Lang, holds on to the puck. Just backhands that one. Godfrey now takes over. Godfrey at the slot, gets a shot on goal, and it bounces off some bodies. It might have been our own teammate. Plenty of traffic in front of Lakari as the Sirens go across ice now. McGoney will just chip down on head, and they'll try and go in on the forecheck. It's Cochrane spinning and turning, trying to control it. Nusimovic can't get past Lang now. Lang is pressured by Butler, just holds onto the puck and happy to wrap it around to Newmark in behind Piers. Newmark trying to find Payne. Does. Payne goes back to Newmark. Newmark tries to feed it back up to the blue line, but it beats everyone, and Lakari will come out and play it. It is from Mayer. And out. Trying to find Lang. He just tips that one towards Newmark, but Dutton gets back there for the Melbourne Ice, and will wrap that around the board towards Nusimovic, who feeds that one until Godfrey. Now Godfrey just chips it ahead towards Lakari, but had too much on it, and Lakari was able to cover up.
Well, a little bit of a late one there. Godfrey gave Lakari a bit of a snowing, and then Sydney Sirens defense didn't like it. They had to fly the flag. We'll take a look at this. Godfrey taking off at the right-hand side. Tried to come back in. There's the snow show there. And then it was on. Lang got across and said, not on my goaltender. Unfortunate for Lang. She's going to enter the penalty box. So we're going to see our first power play of the game, Doogie.
Yes, we will. And as we said, the Melbourne Ice are starting to tilt that shots on goal. You can feel the ice tilting a little bit towards the Melbourne Ice in this second period. So now this is going to be a massive 2 minutes for the Sydney Sirens. 2-1 game. You can see what Godfrey was trying to do there, just to try and chip it ahead and get back onto the puck, but just a little bit too much on it, and Lakari was able to come out and trap it.
Melbourne this season in their special teams, 16 goals in the power play. They've been super in that department, and for the penalty kill, Sydney kill at 77.33%. So interesting to see what they can do here. Opportunity for Melbourne to maybe get the go-ahead, or will Sydney be able to weather the storm? Now, officials just having a chat to the Sydney bench. They're not quite happy with that call, but you're never going to change an official's mind. They will have a chat, though.
So a massive 2 minutes here for the Sydney Sirens. A neutral zone face-off. Brunt and Julian will go to battle. It's won by the Sirens, able to chip it out into the neutral zone. Get back defensively now as the ice through Anderson with speed. Attacks the zone, holds up, finds Davis Tope. Just looking for a pass or a shooting lane. Davis Tope just at that circle, gets a shot away on Lakari, who makes a save, bounces out to the far side, and Julian will collect. Just cuts back, just holding onto the puck. Julian now finds Davis Tope, high slot. Davis Tope looking for a shooting lane, does shoot. There's a loose puck. Lakari stretches out, made the save, and then the puck just slid out, but Lakari able to dive out and cover up.
Have a look at this here on the replay. The Sydney Sirens in a box formation doing a really good job, but it's Sarah Dash setting that screen in there, making it tough. Arps is having to get a body on Dash. That shot comes in. Dash is trying to put her effort in there, but Lakari, super effort to make the save. Good defence from Sydney, but good attack from Melbourne. They would love to get a few more shots on in this power play.
Off the face-off, Butler is able to control it for the Melbourne Ice. Just goes in behind the goal line in the corner, feeds it back to Anderson. Anderson will go to the blue line. Davis Tope now. Back to Anderson. Anderson now right circle, gets a shot towards goal, and at the flex wide out to the far side. Cochrane does well to keep it in the zone. Godfrey now just looking for a shooting lane, finds Davis Tope. Davis Tope happy to just go back up to the blue line and then just dump it in. Anderson in the corner, does get held up, and a strong collision against the boards. Davis Tope now finds Cochrane with a wrist shot towards goal. That goes wide.
Piers has hit the bench. Extra attacker on for Melbourne.
Davis Tope now trying to keep it in the zone. Does. Godfrey now collects the puck. Godfrey looking to shoot. Gets held up. Feeds it back up towards the blue line. And the Sirens finally able to get a stick on it.
5-on-3 hockey time here, Doogie. It is a big opportunity for Melbourne. Sydney really got their backs against the wall. It was a tough penalty, probably unnecessary in that area where Arps was. However, 34 seconds, it's going to be 5-on-3. Sydney backs against the wall. Big moment in the game here. Melbourne need a score. Sydney need to stop and defend. And they've got a good personnel out there. They've got Edney out there who can defend really well. It'll be interesting to see how they weather this storm. Edney, it looks like Edney Payne
Off the face-off, Edney able to run a chip it forward and get it out of the zone. That's a massive face-off win for the Sirens. 23 seconds remaining. 5-on-3 is Anderson now. Through the neutral zone, cuts back in. Anderson is holding onto the puck and Payne goes out the pressure. Back to Anderson. Anderson back up to Godfrey at the blue line. Godfrey looking for a shooting lane. Godfrey just trying to dangle and deep through, and Sirens get a stick in there, but they control it again. Butler. Davis Tote. Cuts back at the goal line, feeds it back up to the blue line. Cochrane to the far side. Godfrey with a one-timer.
5-on-4 now, Doogie.
That went wide. Butler to Anderson. Anderson, right circle, just dumps it back down to Davis Tote. Davis Tote trying to get a wrist shot on goal. There's a loose puck at the far post, and Godfrey couldn't collect it. Butler now collides at the end boards as the Sirens now able to take it out and just backhand that one and just relieve the pressure. 55 seconds remaining on the 5-on-4. Anderson now for the Melbourne Ice. All three zones, just chips it ahead and try and chase after it, but the Sirens get on the end of that one and dump it all the way back in, down to Piers. 36 seconds remaining on the 5-on-4 penalty here for the Sirens. Now with speed, Christina Julienne. She gets to the circle and just cuts back up to the blue line. Happy to dump it down into Butler. Bounces off the corner, pressured by Thompson. Thompson trying to collect the loose puck, and Butler able to regather. Julian now. Julian right circle, cutting back into the slot, looking for a shooting lane now. The left circle. Can't find a clean shooting lane to get a shot off. Happy to spin and dump it in. Down at the end boards now. Trying to feed it back in front. Putting it on the end of it was Butler. And it's back to 5-on-5 as it finds its way into the slot. The Melbourne Ice just dumping in again. Godfrey back up to the blue line. St. Mark. They play it across ice, but that's cut off. And now going forward are the Sirens. Brunt now on the attack. Brunt trying to get in alone on Piers. Brunt gets a shot away, and Piers makes a good right pad save. It's a big opportunity for the Sirens straight off the penalty kill. Now there's a battle along the boards as both teams are digging away at it. It's Godfrey pushes that out to the far side, and Anderson will take over. Tries to go across ice. It just hits the skates of York. They're finally able to lift it up and out the Melbourne Ice. Sirens trying to go across ice. That's cut off by the ice. Sanger Mark now finds Anderson on that far side, who's happy to just wrap that around the boards as Davis Tope will go in and collect it near the corner. Pressured by Mayer. Caruso now trying to backhand that one. Anderson collects. Feels like Anderson's been out there for an eternity.
Telling you, Doogie, playoff Anderson is another level.
Seems like I'm calling Anderson's name left, right and centre. Now Julian into the zone. Tries to feed it back to Davis Tope. Finds the loose puck now. Right circle, Davis Tope. Thought about the backhand. Decided to circle around onto the forehand. Gets a shot away. Straight into the logo, and Lakari holds on.
This shot count is starting to become a problem for the Sydney Sirens. It's now sitting at 26-16. Lucky Lakari's having a relatively good game and making some of these saves and not giving away second chance opportunities. You saw Julian was just waiting there for that one to drop. But 26-16, Sydney's got to start to rectify this, get it out of their defensive zone, get some attack, get some pucks on net, or else they are going to have a tough day.
Off the face-off, the Ice tried to track that loose puck, and the Sirens keep putting on the pressure now. Edney collects it, plays it across ice to Thompson. Bouncing puck off the boards, and they got called for the delayed offside. Thompson just entered beforehand as they shovel it towards Lakari. That was Dash for the Ice.
Quite interesting, I might add as well, since Melbourne got the go-ahead goal and went 2-1, Sydney have made a change. They've got Edney and Thompson on the same line. They started the game on opposing lines to try and spread their strength, but at the moment they've gone full attack mode. Thompson and Edney are on the same shift regularly at the moment, and that shift is with Brunt as well. They're looking for goals.
Off the face-off, the Sirens collected, but pressure in that far corner. They're feeding it. Trying to come back in front was Davis Tope. Couldn't get the backhand to work, and now the Sirens will go back the other way. Thompson with speed, trying to get around Cochrane, and Cochrane does well. The arm is in the air, so we do have a penalty. I did initially think that Cochrane did a good job, but just the speed of Thompson, I think, is just worried Cochrane out of that one.
Yeah, you're certainly right. And then a little bit of a lip going on there. Some chirp from Davis Tope. There's plenty of feeling in this one, folks. Let's take a look at that penalty. Thompson gets out. And you're right. I think Cochrane was just a little worried. And there's the hole just there.
So now this is huge for the Sirens. Off the back of the 5-on-3 and the 5-on-4, able to kill them off. And Lakari able to come up with some big saves. And we did talk about the ice tilting and that shot count, 27-16, and now the Sirens have an opportunity on the power play with 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining.
It's their opportunity to get some volume on that. This is where they've got to do it now, and they've got to score here, you feel.
Newmark now battling with Davis Tope, able to feed it back up to the blue line to Thompson now. Go across ice, Lang. Getting pressured, able to dump it in. Wants Newmark to go in the forecheck as St. Amart now collects the puck and able to skate clear. And able to push it out towards Anderson. Bounces back to St. Amart. Didn't stick that pass, but Anderson able to find the loose puck and just lift it up and into the Siren zone. 30 seconds remaining in this second period. Edney wraps it around the boards to the far side. It's a weird bounce, and Lang able to regather as Butler was bearing down to try and get that loose puck. Bounce off the boards to Edney. 18 seconds remaining. Back to Lang. Lang now takes the red line, now the blue line. High slot, big slap shot on goal, and Pearce with a great blocker save. That was a big save from Pearce with time winding down on the period. As a shooting lane opened up for Lang. And after 2 periods of play, it's a Melbourne Ice. They lead this one 2-1. They will go into the third period on the penalty kill. But that last second save from Pearce with the blocker as Lang was streaking in from the blue line, a big slap shot type, could be absolutely massive.
Yeah, it could have been. We talked about goals being a premium in this game, and we see it's a tough night at the office for the attackers. Only 3 goals scored in this game so far. So the next thing you look at is obviously shot count. Melbourne dominating in that area, 27-17. You can't score goals unless you get pucks on net. So Sydney, they did rectify that slightly in the late stages of that period. They did have their opportunities on the power play. Let's see what they can do. 56 seconds, they'll start the next period with an extra attacker. It'll be interesting how they make some adjustments. They've now got Edney and Thompson on a line together as well. It'll be interesting. I reckon we might see Edney and Thompson playing multiple shifts here. All of a sudden, you've got to start to find something and get your quality players out there on the ice for as long as possible. As we've talked about, it's a bronze medal game. You don't play again for the rest of the season. This is it, so you've got to lay it out all on the line.
And if you're the Sydney Sirens, and it's a dominant Melbourne Ice second period, you can see they came in less on the shot count than Melbourne Ice, and they've started to really pump the volume. It's only a 2-1 game. So if you're the Sydney Sirens, you can go back into that locker room, regroup, have a chat about it. Let's settle things down. Let's calm the nerves or calm the energy down, and let's get back to business in that third period.
Yeah, you're right. There's a silver lining to every cloud, and you're right. They've been able to keep them out. Well, it's been a fantastic game. Make sure you don't go far away. Bronze medal game, the last change, and then of course coming up after this, the Brisbane Lightning taking on the Perth Inferno for gold. Todd Morris and Doogie on the coverage all afternoon. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be back after this. Welcome back to the AWIHL's championship coverage here. It's the bronze medal game where Melbourne Ice have a slender lead, 2-1 up. They will start the penalty on the penalty kill. Sorry, apologies. 56 seconds. The Sydney Sirens will have a power play as they try and navigate and close out this lead. But let's take a look at some of the numbers that matter. Doogie, it's been an interesting one from a statistical battle. Melbourne put a lot of shots on net in that period. Absolutely,
they did. They tilted the ice in that second period, and you get that shot count, 27-17. They lead it 2-1, and Piers with a .941 save percentage had a huge save in the last 10 seconds of that second period. And despite all of the shots going towards the Melbourne Ice in the second period, Lakari, .926 has been absolutely superb for the Sydney Sirens, and really keeping them in the game.
Yeah, she certainly is. And those 3 penalties as well have been in the last 9 minutes of that second period. I remember we made a comment that the first 30-odd minutes of the game were without a penalty, and then now we saw plenty of it. We haven't seen a power play goal yet. It'd be interesting to see if Sydney can capitalise at the start of this period. They'll have a full 56 seconds to do it. They need to start getting some shots on there for me, Doogie. 17 in 2 periods of hockey is just not enough, and especially to beat a team like Melbourne.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they've got to try and get some, like we did speak about it before the game, that it's got to be a big team effort. Maybe they need a big Edney or Thompson goal finding the back of net just to get them going. You know, we did see the Sirens, they came out really early to start this third period out to the bench here, and we had the head coach Annalie Winslow and Sarah Edney having a chat on the bench here throughout that second period intermission as well. And they seem like they're locked in, ready to go in this third period. So maybe keep an eye on Sarah Edney in this third period.
Doogie, we were reminiscing across the break there about times we've seen Edney score off a face-off. One in overtime. You saw a great one against the Ducks and scoring quickly. And Edney's going to take the face-off. She'll be in the middle of the draw here. So interesting to see what she can do in this scenario, especially with the extra attacker on.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 absolute superstars here ready to lock horns at the opening face-off of this third period. Edney and Butler, as the puck is not going anywhere as they both battle in between the skates, but it's Melbourne Ice who dump it in.
Thompson and Edney again on the same line, sticking with that combination, the Sirens.
The puck gets left behind and Edney will gather in front of Lakari. 40 seconds remaining on the penalty here against Steph Cochrane as Lang now enters the zone in that right circle, just goes down to the goal line in behind Piers, holds onto the puck, does Lang, feeds it back up to the blue line, get Thompson now, go across to Edney now with a wrist shot towards goal, and it goes wide. Piers had the angles covered, and now Godfrey just lifts it up and towards Lakari and forces Lakari into a save, a bit of an awkward one in the end, and Edney collects the loose puck and find Lang. Lang just gets pressured by Godfrey as Butler now collects a puck and looks to get a shot away on Lakari, who covers that short side. Butler battling with Lang at the end boards now, and now we're back to 5-on-5 hockey as Steph Cochrane, Melbourne Ice captain, comes out of the penalty box, and Thompson now will collect in behind Lakari. Newmark goes back to Edney. Edney will feed it to Lang down that left-hand side, and Lang enters the zone, going backwards and just loses the puck, and now Godfrey will go forward with Julian and Cochrane for support. Dumps it back off to Julian, who cuts back and gets a shot away on Lakari, and the puck is stuck in between the pads and able to hold on.
I like this build-up in play here for Melbourne. It was a patient build-up. We see them enter here. It was Godfrey here just stopping and then just putting that pass backwards. They get that shot on there from Julian. Lakari did a great job to make the save. Cochrane's fighting on the crease was fantastic as Cochrane and Arps will exchange words.
And off the face-off now, the Melbourne Ice winner. It's Cochrane at the blue line and just pulls it across towards Anderson. Arps cut that one off in York, but the Melbourne Ice able to collect it now, and they're trying to dig their way through to Lakari, and they score! The Melbourne Ice, they extend the lead as Christina Julien with the dangles. They lead at 3-1.
Well, what a big goal for Melbourne. They've put plenty of pressure on net. That shot count sitting at 32-17 at the moment. The home crowd really starts to rally. But take a look at this here on the replay. This is where all the magic happens. A fantastic effort. Julian picks it up there, goes through, dangles, bang, popping bottles. We're on here. That's all of hockey's all about style, and that is the biggest style play I've ever seen of the day.
That's a massive, massive goal from the Melbourne Ice as well. Fresh off the penalty kill, seeing it out to start this third period. Just keep on getting shots on the Kari and able to lift that one past. So now the hill for the Sydney Sirens, it's a little bit steeper. 18-16 remaining in this third period. As Brunt collects the loose puck and chips and chases after it. But Saint and Martin will get there first behind Pearce. Try and push it forward through centre ice and Melbourne Ice, but Rowe gets in the way of that one. There's a bobbling puck and Thompson finally able to settle it down. Go back to Mark. Let's go in behind Bakari and spins away from Musimovic. Find Edney. Just can't really stick a clean play here. The Sirens. Rowe just bounce off the boards towards Edney, but Edney's able to push it forward, but only as far as Raimundo. And now Edney down this left-hand side. A big slap shot towards goal, and Pearce makes a save. There's a bouncing puck. It covers up. But that's something that the Melbourne Ice would want out wide, having Edney shooting from there rather than in the slot.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Doogie, but we have seen Edney bury them from this distance and this angle as well. A beautiful shot, good save by Pearce, who managed to get it on the second attempt and trap it, but there was plenty of Melbourne defence there in support.
Face off to the left, to the right of Pearce. It's Lang and Dash. Dash goes down and it finds its way up to the blue line. A shot towards goal and it redirects wide. Melbourne Ice able to take over. Nelson now has the puck. Just pushes it forward. Couldn't quite collect it. Nelson gets back on the puck through centre ice and Lang comes across as Nelson goes down, and now Newmark will go through and take the zone, goes onto the backhand, looking to lift it past Pearce, who makes the save. As the Melbourne Ice player collides, it's Cochrane. Slowly to get up. Melbourne Ice able to clear it now as Arthur will try and track this one down, and that'll be icing. As Cochrane now won't be able to go to the bench.
And of course, our icing brings up our 50-50 raffle supporting our 2026 Australian national women's and men's teams. Make sure you get your ticket. Last time I checked, it was up to about $900 jackpot total. Make sure you get on there. Half of it goes, obviously, to the women's teams and the men's national team, and then half can be yours. Get your $100 for 60 tickets. I've got my eye on that.
Off the face-off, Thompson rips one, but it goes wide. The Sirens just dump it in. Edney now collects it. Holds onto the puck and backhands that one in towards Brunt. Pressured by Dash at the end boards. Brunt able to spin out of that one. Right circle, gets a shot towards goal, and Dash gets down and blocks that one. It's an important block. Melbourne Ice. Now Nelson will go through centre ice and try and enter the zone. There's a bouncing puck as Sirens get a stick in there. They bounce off the boards, and Thompson now down the right wing, cuts back in now, takes the blue line. Thompson into the slot now, looking for a shooting lane, gets a wrist shot away, gets a rebound, tries again, and Pearce gloves that one.
Well, the encouraging thing is Sydney is starting to get some shots on there. They're starting to create some offense, but they've got to find their way through. We look at Pearce, fantastic save here, and a great vision here from that camera behind. Thompson managed a shot in a phone box. Pearce with a double save.
Off the face-off, Sirens trying to feed it back to Mark. Blue line, gets it now and tries to dump it in, cut off by Julian. Plays it to Anderson. Anderson will just chip it ahead for Davis Tope to get on the end of that one, and Davis Tope really works hard to get there. Julian just pushes it in behind the net, and Davis Tope takes over and cuts back, held up the end boards by Mark. Able to spin out of that one. Melbourne Ice jumping in off the blue line to keep it in, but now the Sirens will go forward. They get the loose pucks. McGoney now backhand pass to Newmark. Newmark looking for some space to shoot. And Julian comes in with speed to break up the play. Anderson will just chip it up ahead. Cut off here at the red line by Mayers. Anderson goes in again. Put the pressure on. Finds a loose puck. Takes his own left circle. Feeds it across and they score. One-timer. Davis Tope. Beautiful pass from Anderson. And they extend their lead 4-1.
This line for the Melbourne Ice has been fantastic this year. A lot of their goals have come out of this combination. Carmen Anderson and Emily Davis Tope. That time Anderson worked super hard to get into that position. Davis Tope in the slot was able to put that home on the one-timer. Perfectly called by yourself there, Doogie. We'll take a look at it here on the replay. Anderson stuck to the left as much as possible, and just like two teammates well connected, they were almost on a string, just staying parallel to each other the whole way. Great pass, great finish. Melbourne now lead by 3.
And we are seeing one of the great bronze medal performances here from Carmen Anderson for the Melbourne Ice. Been absolutely everywhere here in in this game. And now the Sydney Sirens trying to get a quick reply. They get a shot on goal, and Pear's able to deal with that one. There's a loose puck to try and feed it back in front. That was Brunt. Brunt goes down. Edney gets the loose puck, feeds it back up to the blue line. Playing with a big slap shot towards Pears, who slides across and makes a good save. And the Melbourne Ice are trying to clear it down that left wing, but Rowe gets in the way of that one. Jusimovic able to push it towards Godfrey, who takes over now. Godfrey play that towards Butler. Lang collects the loose puck, and now we'll go forward with speed. Lang looks to cut back in and takes his own, and does. Lang cuts back in again. Edney now trying to shoot on goal, and two Melbourne Ice bodies get in the way of that one, and Edney gets held up along the boards now. Melbourne Ice just desperate defending. Lang in behind Pears now. Just holds on to the puck. Backhands that one deep. Looking for Thompson to get on the end of that one. Pressured by Butler. Finds his way to Arps. Arps can't get past Butler, who does well to get a stick in there. And the Sirens, they just can't keep it in the zone and trickles out to the red line. Butler, though, collects the puck and able to dump it in. Melbourne Ice, they'll look to make a change. Arps now on the goal line. Godfrey does well. Outnumbered 5-1 in the Siren zone. Does well, just hold up against the boards. And now Dutton at the blue line gets a wrist shot towards Akari, and it does trickle to Akari and makes a glove save, but Godfrey, 5-on-1, able to hold it up in the corner.
Yeah, it's just the strength of a player like Godfrey to be able to do that. When you see here on the replay, Sydney defence set up really well. Akari made the easy save. That shot count is still haunting them at the moment, 34-22. Sydney got to find a way here. Plenty of time left.
Another shot from the Melbourne Ice. Not enough on it. Plenty of bodies there for the Sirens, who are able to push it out to the neutral zone. Cochrane just fans on that one. Able to regather the puck, and Cochrane does well to get back on the puck. Now we'll go forward, the defender. Pressured by Lang. Mayer. Happy to just dump that one in. You might see a lot of that in this third period now. They've got a 3-goal lead, the Melbourne Ice. Just the basic stuff dumping it in. Now they've tried to feed it back in front, looking for Julian. Lang's able to shovel that one out, but only as far as Anderson in the neutral zone, will just try and chip and chase their own puck as Edney comes off the bench. Trying to get on the end of that one now for the Sirens. Still trying to force it forward is Edney. Now pressuring Wrigley Eunice. It goes out to that right-hand side as Anderson goes down the wing now to Julian. Couldn't stick the pass as Mark cuts that one off. Still on the attack though, the Melbourne Ice. Mark trying to backhand that one out of the zone, can't. Sirens finally able to relieve the pressure. Davis Tope now at centre ice. Just chips it forward and try and chase after him. Pressure on Murray. Gets a stick in there. Julian gathers a loose puck though, feeds it back towards the slot. As Davis Tope and Anderson were lurking, as Brunt now for the Sirens. As Anderson once again just gets back defensively. Just strips the puck from Brunt. And just pushes that one in behind Lakari, and they'll go to work again on the forecheck, just trying to trap it in. But Thompson finds Edney, backhands that one across towards Brunt, gets to the blue line. Just a shot on goal, Riemann opportunity. Edney's on the charge, and Raimundo just puts enough pressure on. Davis Tope now trying to go across ice. It beats everyone as Arthur will chase this one down. There is no icing. He's cutting back by Jusimovic on the forecheck. Butler goes across now. Just trying to bounce it off the boards, and the Melbourne Ice, St. Amand does well, steps up, the defender gets a shot on goal, and Lakari makes a save, and it goes in behind the net. Well, you love to see that, don't you? A big defender getting forward, getting a shot on goal. St. Amand's got the puck now as we have a whistle. Looks like we'll have a Sydney Sirens power play. Butler's heading to the penalty box. So this is a massive opportunity for the Sydney Sirens. 11:47 remaining in the third period. You almost feel like they have to get one here, Todd.
Yeah, they certainly do, but it's going to be tough in terms of a penalty kill unit. Melbourne, 81.48% successful on penalty kills. So it'll be interesting to see if Sydney can find the back of the net.
And straight off the face-off, Anderson's able to strip Taunton in on goal now. Anderson shoots on Lakari and makes a good save. Anderson able to collect it down behind the goal line now. It's 3-on-1. Carmen Anderson absolutely everywhere for the Melbourne Ice. Straight off the face-off, short-handed. Now Now the Sirens, a cross-ice pass to Gatormson. Gatormson looking to cut back in, getting a shot on Piers, makes a right pad save. There's a rebound opportunity. The Ice deal with it, they can't get out of the zone. Edney to Gatormson, top of the right circle, gets a wrist shot towards goal. That's cut off by Anderson. Plays wide in the corner, it's Cochrane's in there. Magoni as well, Gatormson goes in, it's Anderson who strips the puck and lifts it up and out. All the way down to Lakari. 1:10 remaining on the Danielle Butler penalty. Sydney Sirens desperate to get a goal here. Try and spark something, they dump it in. Newmark trying to go in on the forecheck. Wrigley Eunice able to deal with that one, and Melbourne Ice able to shovel it out. With 54 seconds remaining. And Dash goes in to put some pressure on the forecheck against Gatormson. They both put the brakes on. Arps. Able to skate clear. Find Magoni. Magoni now puts a shot on towards Piers, who makes a save and then just holds on, not taking any chances.
10 minutes, 20 left here, Doogie. Still plenty of time. The difference sits at 33 seconds left on this Danielle Butler power play. Sydney have got to manufacture some more shots at the moment. Melbourne are doing a really great job. We saw that one there. That was that clearance again from Dutton, who got it away. Melbourne doing everything they can clearing house and doing a fine job at it.
The Melbourne Ice able to shovel that one out, and guess who? It's Anderson again, able to clear the danger. Lang now will set up for the Sirens, trying to stick the pass to York and can't. And that'll be icing with 18 seconds remaining on the Danielle Butler penalty. And once again, just on that last play there from the Anderson, able to shovel it out.
That's a big letdown too, getting an icing call, and it's your power play as well, and you're 3 goals down.
Yeah.
This is the moment where you've got to get on top. You've got the extra attacker. Bring the puck up.
Off the face-off, the Sirens able to win it. Lang collects it. Davis toe pressuring on the forecheck. Goes in behind Lakari. Just dumps the puck off to Mark, who finds York. 8 seconds remaining on the power play. York now will take the red line, now the blue line, and just dump it in behind Piers. And Danielle Butler will head out of the penalty box, and Danielle Butler will try to collect that loose puck. Couldn't. Now the Sirens go back in on the attack. York goes in behind the goal line. Pressure by Cochrane, Butler and Davis Toten. The numbers went out as Butler tried to clear it. Cut off by Edney. Dutton finds Anderson. There's a backhand coming out of the zone. The Sirens trying to keep it in. Does come out only an inch or so. They have to got back out for the delayed offside. Now Butler goes forward for the Melbourne Ice. Butler deking and dangling, trying to get around, trying to cut back in. Butler just loses the handle on it, and we have a whistle. It looked like Danielle Butler.
Danielle Butler signalling for the penalty shot. She wants to go at one. She's put the crosses in the air saying, give me one. Ma will head to the penalty box and spin to Melbourne, get a power play. But let's look at this from Danielle Butler here. Just beautiful play. Great handles on the puck. Ma got across. There's the penalty. Butler was just looking for that one. And you see straight away signalling, give me the penalty. Give me the penalty.
So Ma will sit in the box. 2 minutes for hooking. The Ice win the face-off. Godfrey now. Taylor Mark. Julian. Butler. Looking to pass to Godfrey, and Edney gets a stick in there now. We'll try and pressure St. Amar, but able to deal with that one. Butler will go back in on the attack for the Melbourne Ice. Trying to feed it back up to the blue line. Does to Godfrey. Godfrey now went big slap shot, but it's a block by Edney. Edney now trying to break clear, but Godfrey gets back to cut that one off. The Sirens will retreat, and now Julian try and go forward with speed, and does. Takes the zone, pressured by Thompson. Davis Tote. Butler now with time to shoot, and couldn't find the back of the net. Butler once again in the slot, gets a shot towards goal, and Lakari makes a save. There's a rebound opportunity, but it gets pushed wide. Trying to clear it, and the Sirens, Edney does, able to push it out to the neutral zone. Tied up by Davis Tote with the red line. We have a whistle. So all of a sudden, Godfrey, I think it was from that previous shot on goal, and after the play, Godfrey wasn't happy. The shot did go wide on Lakari. So Godfrey will sit in the penalty box. So this is interesting now, Todd. 4-on-4 hockey. We'll see which team it suits more.
Yeah, for 52 seconds we'll get this. 8 minutes left in the game. You feel that Melbourne, they played the second game yesterday. It was a real high-cost energy game. Sydney might have something more in the tank, and will be a war of attrition from now on.
Melbourne Ice now trying to break out on the goal line. They're able to push it out to the neutral zone as Payne takes over, but Anderson gets a stick in there. Brunt's able to dump it in. Only will try and go in on the forecheck. Dutton gets there first. Finds Davis Tote. Davis Tote spinning and pushing it out towards Anderson. Now Anderson on the attack again. Anderson at the left circle, just happy to cut back and circle back as Julian comes in at the blue line. The backhand pass just couldn't stick. Sainamar gets back defensively. Sainamar now finds Dash. Dash now into the zone. Just dumps it in behind Lakari. Mark comes out of the penalty box for the Sydney Sirens. That is a battle. Magoni finds a loose puck and just wraps it around the boards. The Sirens able to push it out into the neutral zone. They're also able to deal with it. And Magoni's trying to trap this loose puck. We've got 38 seconds remaining in the Godfrey penalty. The Sydney Sirens are on the power play, but it doesn't seem like it at the moment. Arps now. And it's time now to try and set up for the Sirens with 24 seconds remaining on the Godfrey penalty. Play it out towards Naya. Will go in. Goes below the goal line, just cuts back and then feeds it back up to Thompson. Thompson now gets a wrist shot towards goal, and he was able to deal with that one and push it aside, just fanning on it behind the net. Saint-Amar able to regather the puck though, pressured by Edney. Edney's still pressuring. Maya now just dumps it into Magoni behind the net. He feeds it back in front, but there's no one there except for Davis Tote now. Godfrey out of the penalty boxes. The Melbourne Ice dump it forward. Godfrey gets the bouncing puck off the end boards. There's Butler in front. Godfrey just circles around the net. Now trying to feed it towards Davis Tote, but it deflects. Cochrane able to collect the loose puck and dump it in as the Ice have to go back out for the delayed offside. They'll go back in. Just fanning on that one is Mayer for the Sirens. Able to regather. Backhand that one. Magoni trying to go across ice, going as far as Cochrane, who collects it at centre ice and tries to push it forward for the Melbourne Ice. And now Thompson on the attack, regathers herself, gets a wrist shot towards goal, and Pearce makes a good pad save. Now the Melbourne Ice back the other way. Daniel Butler with speed, able to get around the Sirens defender. Daniel Butler trying to get past Lakari on the forehand. Lakari makes a big left pad save. So 2 big saves either end. So the Ice just dump it in. Maher will collect it. The Ice will come out for the offside and make a change. Now, Newmark down that left wing. Just pushes it into the zone, but the Melbourne Ice have plenty of numbers. And they'll feed it forward looking for Godfrey. Godfrey's run out of gas in the tank and will come off for a change as Newmark just tips that one in. No icing. Raimundo will get back there defensively. We've got 4:38 remaining in this third period. Sirens, they'll need to score and score in a hurry. Cut off at centre ice. But Anderson does well to get a stick in there on Payne. Now Anderson trying to get the loose puck. Julian now left circle. It's a wrist shot on goal and Lakari makes a save. There's a bouncing puck. Anderson the backhand shot. Another save from Lakari. 2 big saves from Ella Lakari as the shot count hits 40 in the Melbourne Ice. Christina Julian left circle. Loose puck. Gets a shot on goal and Lakari again, who's lost a stick, makes another huge save. Ella Lakari coming up huge for the Sirens. The loose puck gets down. Makes a right pad save, Lakari. As that puck went towards goal. Mar now behind the goal, trying to spin and clear it. Lakari has her stick back. Anderson trying to keep it in. Same to Raimundo. Anderson does collect it. Feeds it back to St. Amart now. Tries to push it towards Davis Tope, and Julian will enter the zone. Gets tied up by the Sirens. Only push it as far as Dash. Raimundo now, happy to chip it in as Dash will go in and chase for it. And that'll be icing on the Melbourne Ice. But Ella Lakari What a sequence.
Doogie, yeah, absolutely amazing stuff. Ala Lakari save package. This would make amazing numbers on social media as we see this here. There's the first one there, that bobbles out, and then had to save again, and we got another one. There's the no-stick action as well. Still standing in goal. A teammate trying to pick a stick up. Payne missed the handoff. Lakari makes the save on the blocker. Unbelievable stuff. Get that on socials.
Off the face-off, the Sirens keeping in the zone. May now with a wrist shot towards goal, and Melbourne Ice is St. Amar able to stop that with the skates. Now dash on the attack, left circle dash, get a wrist shot towards goal, and Lakari pushes that aside. The Ice trying to keep it in from Julian. Loses the puck though. Now Ebony Brunt goes back the other way, takes the blue line. Ebony Brunt trying to get a shot on Pierce, trying to cut back in. Able to deal with that one and lift it up and out the Melbourne Ice. .254 remaining in the third period. Now the Ice get to the red line and just dump it in as Dash wants to make a change. To Thompson now, backhand pass to Edney. Edney will feed it forward to McGoney, takes the zone. McGoney now trying to feed it towards Edney, who gets a backhand but lifts it over the net. Only inches. Thompson now in the corner, controlling the puck. Butler worries Thompson off it and just bounces it off the boards, and Payne tries to collect it at the red line. Just loses the puck as the Melbourne Ice go forward, but Shana Godfrey called offside. Big opportunity. As Mayer will head to the penalty box for the Melbourne Ice. Unsportsmanlike.
Lakari making eyes at the bench, looking for instructions whether they go with an empty net situation. 2:16 left on the clock. Power play Sydney. Need to get a goal here straight away. Lakari again making eyes at the bench, waiting for that instruction.
So what can the Sydney Sirens do here? Off the face-off. Trying to keep it in the zone. They do. Arps does well, pressured by Anderson. Thompson now finds a puck. Thompson, the wrist shot towards goal, it goes wide. Puck's in behind Piers now. Newmark trying to work hard. The puck all the way along the boards, and Arts will have to go back into the Siren zone. Goes across to Thompson and just loses the puck as Davis Tope now collects it. Davis Tope spinning and turning, falls over. No call on the play. Thompson plays it across ice to McGoney, but it's picked off here by Dutton. Happy to just dump it in with a minute 40 remaining. Melbourne Ice won't take any risk at all. This last remaining 1 minute, 32 seconds. Edney, McGoney will take the zone now. Just dumps it off to Newmark. Thompson now into the slot. To Edney. Edney with a one-timer. And just rips that one high and wide into the netting. 1:22 remaining in the third period.
Last roll of the dice here, Doogie. 1:22, we know it's a lifetime. A quick goal could change everything.
Yep. Off the face-off, the Sirens get it back to Arps at the blue line. Finds Thompson now. Thompson. Newmark now short side, tries to beat Piers from the goal line. Back up to Arps. A one-timer towards goal, looking for a redirect. And the Melbourne Ice able to clear it as Christina Julian now on the attack with speed. Collects a loose puck and just gets tied up by Arps, who does well defensively. Thompson now will take over. Thompson cutting back in, centre ice. Thompson takes the zone, holds onto the puck. Goes in behind the goal line. Thompson looks to feed it back in front, but St. Amar cuts that one off and able to clear it. As the Melbourne Ice now will keep pressuring on the forecheck. Godfrey goes in there. Godfrey collects it in behind Lakari, feeds it back to Butler. Butler now shoots and scores! Danielle Butler, top shelf, glove side on Lakari to seal it for the Melbourne Ice. They lead 5-1.
Well, there was about 3 minutes left in the game. We looked over to see if Lakari was going to make away from the bench and just didn't. And it almost felt like Sydney was conceding defeat at that point. And then that one was just the icing on the cake, a short-handed goal. We see this here on the replay. Godfrey putting a pressure on there, got it back on the forecheck. Butler knew where to go, right in the slot. Hey, diddle, thank you very much. And what a great goal. Well deserved for Danielle Butler. It's been a beautiful season again for her and a great assist to Godfrey.
So the Melbourne Ice, they lead this one 5-1 with 31 seconds remaining in the third period. As they go on the attack again, Danielle Butler once more gets a shot towards Lakari. It goes wide. Now York for the Sirens. Feeds a pass towards Caruso. Caruso will chip it into the zone. Pressure down there is on the forecheck is Cockerell. The Melbourne Ice, they collecting behind. Here's the time winding down. 5 seconds remaining in the game. And we hear the roar here from the Melbourne Ice crowd. And that'll do it. The Melbourne Ice, they are your bronze medal champions for the 2025-26 Australian Women's Ice Hockey League season. A 5-1 win over the Sydney Sirens. And a massive 2 periods for the Melbourne Ice. Carmen Anderson, absolutely superb. Danielle Butler as well. Zane Ahmad on the blue line was absolutely massive. Michaela Pearce in net, just blanking the Sirens at every opportunity. Players like Isabella Raimundo, repeat efforts at the blue line just to keep it in. And just at the end of the day, it was a relentless, overwhelming pressure of the Melbourne Ice, and the shot volume just won out in the end.
But if you're a Sydney Sirens fan, plenty to keep your head high about. Since the 2022-23 season, they didn't qualify for finals. It's their first visit back here. They made the top 4. They showed plenty throughout the season. They were absolutely brilliant in stages. They were a fantastic team to watch, and they were always a team that doesn't matter who they played, you're like, hey, the Sirens could probably get up today. They're going to play really well. Unfortunately, this weekend just wasn't their weekend, but full credit to the Melbourne Ice. A fantastic season from them as they now finish with a bronze medal.
And Drew Carfrae as well, first season in the head coach's seat for the Melbourne Ice as well, walks away with a bronze medal. Has been part of the Melbourne Ice system for a while, assistant coach, and gets the top job this season and is able to guide them to a bronze medal.
What a tough job too. You take over the head coaching role after back-to-back championships. The pressure is just through the roof to be able to continue again. And they lost a couple of major parts of their roster as well.
Yep.
And they added some good young players to that roster too, and they've just been able to build and just get better and better. But a fantastic effort from all around. And this just shows the strength of the competition and how good it is in the AWIHL.
Speaking to Stephanie Cochran a couple of weeks ago for one of the articles I produced, she did speak about the change in the personnel and a lot of the young players that came in, and a more of a leadership role that the Melbourne Ice veterans had to take on this season, and then they've walked away with a medal.
Yeah, certainly fantastic. Great hockey all round, 5-1. Let's take a look at the major point scorers for the game. We'll get through those. We'll start with the Sydney Sirens. It was Stephanie Newmark, the only goal scorer for Sydney. Shelby Gutterson, Lucinda York awarded assists in that game. And for Melbourne, they scored the 5 goals. There was plenty of points all round. Your leading goal scorer for the game, Danielle Butler, had that last one with the icing on the cake. Carmen Anderson, Emily Davis-Tope, and Christina Julienne with singles. And of course, your assistees, Charlotte Godfrey, played absolutely fantastic with the 2 assists. Anderson, Cochran, Jusimovic, and Dutton all with assists as well. Doogie, geez, who was tough to call who was your best player today for Melbourne Ice or in this game?
Well, it just felt like I was calling Carmen Anderson every second of this game. It was either in the offensive zone, trying to create, trying to assist or score a goal, or it was the defensive plays is what stood out to me. Every time the Sirens would look to go on the attack, Carmen Anderson was there stripping the puck, and then we've seen late in that third period there was a face-off, and the first person to get on the end of the puck was Anderson, able to just shovel it out just to relieve the pressure. So for me, it was Carmen Anderson all over the ice, and all over the ice for the Melbourne Ice. Had a superb bronze medal game. And
what a weekend for Anderson too. The 2 goals, the 2 assists. It was 1 and 1 yesterday, 1 and 1 today. But you're right, one of the hardest workers out there. I've nicknamed her Playoff Anderson because all season she was fantastic, but this weekend she just lifted to that next level. And sometimes that's what it takes, a player to be able to do that, and especially on the big stage today in the bronze medal game. But I'm excited for the next game coming up. We're about to have our medal presentations here as both teams will line up on the blue lines. We'll have the Melbourne Ice team getting awarded their bronze medals. Let's head down to our stadium MC in Margto.
Veronica Ryan, the IHA Vice Chair and Finance Director. both these officials will be presenting Melbourne Ice women with their bronze medal today. First of all, though, once the referees have finished their important business, we will acknowledge the referees with their medals first.
The officials just finalising our statistics and closing that off, and as Mark said, our officials will receive their medallions first, followed by the Melbourne Ice.
Change of plan, we're going to acknowledge Melbourne Ice with their bronze medal. So, players, if you can skate up as I call out your name, please, and I'm sure the crowd will acknowledge your performance throughout the season. Number 4, Carmen Anderson.
Well, we talked about Carmen Anderson quite a fair bit. A big weekend, 2 goals, 2 assists for the weekend for the 4 points.
Nicole Lecren.
Yeah, absolutely superb.
Lecren, fantastic in defence, played a tough role for Melbourne.
Number 7, Sarah Dash.
Sarah Dash, the veteran. What a story that is, coming back off a broken leg from playing soccer
Number 11,
to return
and
late this
alternate
season.
captain, Emily Davis-Tope.
Emily Davis-Tope, amazing this season as well. Really lifted career
Number
best
15,
form for me.
and your captain for Melbourne Ice Women, Stephanie Cochran.
Big leadership job for Cochran this season. So many changes of personnel.
Number 16, Amelia Grigalunas.
Grigalunas, fantastic as well in defence. Really chipped in some big game plays there
Number 17,
today.
Shana Godfrey.
Shana Godfrey, fantastic today as well. Ended with the 2 assists, but was a real difference maker for her team.
Number 23, Elizabeth Gemesis.
Gemesis, fantastic, just developing as well and just building more and more. Had a good
Number
season.
25, Hayley Nelson.
Nelson as well. We talk about young talent. What it is for Nelson, was once a fan of this
Number
team.
26,
now gets to put on the
Alita
jersey.
Jackwitz.
Jackwitz as well, fantastic. Not with us today, played
Number
today,
27,
but had a great
Jasmine
season.
Mayer.
Mayer as well, another one of these developing young talents.
Number 62, Amelie Saint-Amand.
Saint-Amand, absolutely amazing defensively. Really stood up for her team all season.
Number 71, Isabella Raimondo.
Talk about Raimondo getting better and better season on season. Great work in defence, some big plays today.
Number 77, Claudia Nusimovic.
Nusimovic as well, another fantastic addition to this Melbourne Ice team. First season, walks away with a bronze.
Number 79, Christine Dutton.
Probably really understated player, Dutton. Doesn't get many flowers, but really solid in defence.
Number 86, and alternate captain for Melbourne Ice Women, Danielle Butler.
Well, what can we say about Butler? Just delivers time and time again. And fantastic late goal
Number
as well.
91, Christina Julian.
We talk about wily veterans in this competition. Probably none better than Julian. Local talent,
And of
absolutely
course,
fantastic.
our incredible goalie.
Did really well.
Number 50, Michaela Pearce.
And Piers in net, battled hard all season. It was absolutely fantastic.
And number 1, Michaela Best.
Great to see Best get acknowledged today with her bronze medal. Tough season for her. Had a couple of tough games in there.
Head
but
coach
fought through
Drew
the adversity.
Carfrey.
And congratulations to Drew in his first season
Assistant
picking up a
coaches,
bronze.
Rob Patterson, Michael Burkwood.
Accompanied by his assistants, they do a fantastic job.
Team manager Jordan Seymour. And sports trainer Kelly Vallis.
And these are the people behind the scenes that you don't sort of see front and centre that do all
There
the
you
heavy
have it.
lifting.
Yeah, it takes many
Congratulations
people.
once again, Melbourne Ice,
to run a
on
team.
your bronze medal achievement. I believe our on-ice officials, the referees and linesmen have left. But thank you so much to Connor Oxlade, Caspar Ruskell Huber, and Dan Manchin and Jeff Klink. And of course, it wouldn't be special without you people sitting in the stands. So thank you very much for your support and patronage as you get behind these incredible athletes, our Australian ice hockey women. And we wish Sydney a very, very safe travel home. And Melbourne Ice women, you go party. You've deserved yourself an excellent evening. So thank you very much. We now will get ready for the gold medal game. Puck drop, 5 p.m.
Well, the party is just about to get started. 5 p.m. start. We have the gold medal game coming up, Doogie. I'm excited for this one. It's the Perth Inferno and the Brisbane Lightning. Teams that finish first and second on the ladder, they deserve their spot here in the gold medal game. We're going to take a quick break, but Doogie, before we do, talk to me about this next game. What are you excited about?
Well, if you only live 10, 20 minutes around the corner, it's not too late to get a ticket and get into this building, because this next game is going to be absolutely huge. Two teams that have never won the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League title, the Joe McCowan Trophy. Two teams, it's the first time since the 2011-2012 season that a team outside of Melbourne and Sydney are going to win this trophy this season. And two teams that are absolutely stacked with scoring, defence and goaltenders. It's going to be absolutely epic. I can't wait.
And beautiful pictures there as we see on screen as Melbourne get their team photo. A fantastic season. They'll look back on this. It'll be one to remember. Even though they didn't win the championship, they didn't defend their back-to-back title. However, they do walk away with the bronze. Fantastic stuff. Doogie, I'm excited. Make sure you join us up next, guys. We're going to take a quick break here, but join us at 5 o'clock as we have the gold medal game.